Hello and welcome back to Making It Podcast. We're here for episode 13 and 13 episodes in. Kind of crazy. Say it every single week, but it's kind of crazy how quick time's going actually when I think about it. But it's been a really positive week, I'd say, and there's a variety of reasons for that. We hope that you've had a good week. And we've also got a question of the week out at the moment, which we're going to bring into the episode a little bit later on. But Dan, let me kick off the podcast with asking first of all how you are. Good to see you. Obviously, we're not doing it in person this time, which is a shame. But obviously, you're back up in Newcastle, and you've had a good kind of first week back. Even though I say first week back, you're only back for the weekend, like. But you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, nah, man, I'm good. I'm good. I think this week's been a very special week at times, and I'm feeling good right now. I think just to jump straight into it, I think for all the listeners who, we spoke about the coaching and how the coaching process has gone. Got my first win on Wednesday, so that was a very special day. I'll speak through it. So I woke up in the morning, and you know what I find quite interesting? I find it quite interesting how you ever wake up in the morning, you have a bit of a feeling about the day, whether it's going to go well or it's going to go bad. You kind of just got a little feeling. Sometimes you don't because you don't know how your day is going to go. But I woke up on Wednesday, and I'm not just saying this in hindsight, but I woke up in Wednesday and I had a good feeling about the day. Woke up, it was a nice sunny day. I went for a run with my girlfriend, and she did her own run, I did mine, and I just felt really good that day. And went into town, got a few bits of Polaroid film because I printed off a Polaroid for all the players because it was the last game. And the game started, and my granddad was there to watch. It was just a nice occasion. And we go 1-0 up before half time. Harvey scores a really good header. And then half time, everyone comes in. We're all playing really well. Well, obviously, I'm not playing, but the lads are playing really well. The best I've ever seen them play. Go into the second half. Adam scores 2-0, 60th minute. And I was just like, wow, this is nice. This is really nice. Granddad was in the dugout the whole time. And then, we ended up conceding a penalty. So it went to 2-1. Made it a bit nervy at the end. We were taking the ball to the corners. But got my first win on Wednesday. And it was such a nice feeling. I was buzzing. If anyone wants to see a bit of it, posted a vlog on it on the YouTube, so go check that out. But it was just a phenomenal day. I went for dinner with Grandad afterwards, and I was on such a high. I was just like, wow, this is such a nice feeling. So midweek was really good. Went to Manchester over the weekend as well. That was nice to see some people who I've not seen in a while, spend a bit of time with them. I think Manchester's quite a cool city. Have you been before?
I've been only for football related stuff. I have been. It's a nice place.
Yeah, so I've had a good week, Jamie. But how's your week been, mate?
It's good. I mean, first of all, I just want to congratulate you because I know from speaking on the podcast and more speaking after games because we don't just chat once a week on this podcast. We do have conversations outside of it, and we've spoken after games. And I know that you're feeling a bit downbeat about stuff, but you've persisted and you've smashed it. I had a good feeling that day. I said to you, I think you're going to win today.
Yeah, you did. Thank you, man.
I did say I thought you were going to win. I don't think I called 2-1, unfortunately, but I did say you're going to win. And it was a lovely day. Wednesday was a really nice day. Congratulations. And if you're maybe a coach of some team, before I kind of answer what you asked me, what's the advice that you'd give to someone now that you've experienced that sort of first win to someone that maybe was in the position you were in before?
I would say don't change what you're doing. Unless you've seen a really big tactical thing that's going to help you win games, don't change what you're doing. Just keep working on the way you were working with things. So, I didn't all of a sudden think, oh, okay, I'm going to start trying to do a different style of play. I'm going to all of a sudden change my approach to it. I just thought, listen, first season, maybe as I grow and adapt as a coach, I'll be able to learn and adapt with games and changes of style with football. That's something I've got to learn though quite a bit. But I thought, stick with what you're doing, get the feedback from the lads, make sure you're working things in training which they want to work on, make sure we're all talking with each other, what we think we need to improve on, what we're doing well. And I think just for any coach who is in a position where they're not getting the results, even though they're putting in the work, I don't think there's anything I can particularly say which is going to make anyone go, oh, that makes me feel so much better. But I think a relief of it is just having that awareness that it doesn't last forever. And also the results, as much as we want results in sport, the results don't always necessarily show your hard work. Because at the end of the day, as a coach, you can put in all the work you want, but it's still 11 players on that pitch who are performing for you. So it's like you can't necessarily have that physical impact on the game as much as you can have an impact as a coach. So I just say trust the process and stick with it, and don't dramatically change what you're doing. Don't think people are pointing fingers at you. And if you are worried about that, which I was a little bit, then just ask a couple of the lads that you trust in the team, like, listen, being honest, do you think this is a bit something to do with what I'm doing? If it is, let me know. But the only thing one of the lads said to me was you could do with a bit more experience. But I think even I know that, So I think just if you're feeling a bit of stress or pressure about something, don't be alone in it. Talk to your support system. Like I've got to speak to you about stuff like this and other friends and family, and share your experiences with people, and don't think you're a lone wolf is what I would say. But yeah, Jamie, how's your week been?
It's good. It's really good this week. I'm back to playing football, so I'm buzzing about that. I'm playing badminton tonight. I'm going to.
Nice.
I got a little guest pass at David Lloyd, so
back playing sport then.
Yeah, back playing sport. Going to go for a bit of badminton with my mate Deck. Going to go swimming, do a bit of the saunas, do all that stuff. It was a bit of a mental weekend because I got the call to do another commentary, which was awesome yesterday. I got the call on Friday.
Just your third gig?
To come in. Yeah, third gig. So got asked to do it really kind of last minute, which they were obviously thankful for, which made me feel good, because hopefully that'll mean that they want me a bit more. So did that at about 3:00 yesterday afternoon. Dorking Wanderers beat Boreham Wood 1-0. Did a lot of prep for it, and it was good. So it's been a good week. It's been a really busy week doing that. A few other bits, mostly just like little work bits. I had a couple of days off, which was quite nice. So yeah, just enjoyed a bit of relaxing, a little bit of working. This week has been a really nice balance. And I feel a lot more confident and relaxed as the weeks go on with things that I'm doing. I sent off my visa application for Australia as well on Thursday night, maybe Wednesday or Thursday night. So hopefully hear back about that soon. But yeah, busy
How does it feel
week.
to be playing sport again?
So good. It is the best feeling. I mean, it isn't perfect. Like my ankle still does give me some pain and discomfort, but like it is natural in the healing process, right? Like I'm not expecting it to be just perfect. So I need to get it moving at some point, and I've decided that time is now. I felt that I could flex it with minimal or near enough minimal pain, and I played a match, played in defence, and I think I played pretty well. So. It's kind of one of those things where, like, if anyone is going through like a long-term or a long-ish term injury, it's like it's the worst. It's so boring because I enjoy being active. The one thing I wasn't ready for was for the next 2 days just aching. Like I've been aching so bad. Like I've been so unfit. It's crazy. Like that football match, I was blowing like crazy at the end of the match. So yeah, so good to be back to it because not exercising is just not the one for me.
What did you say it's called when you overthink about your injury? What did you say it's called?
It's called hypochondria. So that's,
and you feel like you've got that?
Definitely got it, 100%. Like even the smallest things, because even the smallest things, like medical reasons, just mess me up. They'll just put me into like a sort of. It's like you're isolated. It's like as soon as you hear about a diagnosis or you've got an issue or you hurt yourself, you're just as soon as it happened when I was at football, I was like in this. It was like in a box. Like it felt like no one else was there up until like last week. When I felt like, okay, I can start playing now. And I realised that actually, there is a bit of pain, but A, it's not that bad. B, I know that if I can play football, I'm okay. If I can't walk or run, I shouldn't be playing, but I can walk and run and I can kick a ball. So, yeah, I don't know. There might be people that are listening that struggle with hypochondria. Maybe they don't want to admit it. I think you should just, be open with yourself. I will continue to probably have issues with it, but the important thing is just kind of reassuring myself and having, as we say, a good support system to speak to about stuff like this because it's just crap. It's just really, really crap. But I'm back. Badminton tonight, football tomorrow night.
No, so that's your advice, just for people struggling with overthinking about their injuries, just to talk to people and.
Yeah, make that phone call as well. Like if you are nervous or you're worried about an injury that you've got, call someone. Call the doctors or, I got a sports massage which was amazing. It hurts, like it really, really hurts. But it will fix you for sure. I'm sure, unless it's something really serious, it should fix you. Yeah, just call someone and yeah, you're not alone. Just drop a text, man. I'm the exact same. So, but yeah, what's the sort of from all the things that have happened this week though? What's the sort of big underlying takeaway for you in terms of perhaps a technique that you've used this week, or a way you've been feeling, or a quote you've remembered, or what's the sort of underlying takeaway from this week for you?
I think riding the wave, and I believe we spoke about this before. I remember when we spoke about my brain and my mind specifically goes to low moments, and I remember asking you on the pod, how do you think you should cope with low moments? And you said it's just riding that wave. And I think whenever you're in that when you're in that mud, it's very difficult to get out of it. And, maybe if you think of it as mud, then you feel like you're stuck in it. But if it's a wave, it's going to pass. And I think with the coaching, the big thing for me was the fact that I felt like I was in the mud and I felt like I couldn't get out of losing or not winning a game. But it's a wave that passes. And, that goes the same with emotions. And, I think throughout every day, throughout every minute, we have a different sort of feeling. We experience emotions every day, and we've all got experiences where, we've been in the sort of root of an emotion and we've acted out on it and we felt really bad. I might have something with my girlfriend, which I've been thinking, but if I suppress it and I don't speak to her, then that wave never gets to pass. Maybe sometimes opening the gate for the wave to pass is a nice thing. So I would say for me, riding the wave. I think it's a very important one in life because we can feel like we're stuck and we can feel like, life ain't going the way we want it, but maybe that wave's a little bit longer than the others. Maybe you need to be in that sort of period for a longer time. So when you come out of it, you've really learned and grown from it. And, I was in that the whole season. I haven't won a game, so I was in that period for a very long time, but it was such a nice thing to then win in the last game, because coming out of it, I now, that's a big lesson learned for me. I know no matter what, if results aren't going my way, that Michael, the head of football, said to me, these are the moments that make it worth it, that keep you coming back. So for me, I'd say riding the wave. But for you, Jamie, what's a key underlying theme for your week?
Well, I want to add on to actually what you've just said there before I get onto mine, about riding the wave thing. And it's almost like, I was just thinking to myself, if you can't swim, just float, right? And that sounds like such a random thing to just say. But sometimes you wear yourself out trying to do stuff that, you're struggling with, and, you don't want any advice. You don't actually take time to think about the scenario you're in and how you traverse it. So instead of trying to swim, instead of wearing yourself out, instead of potentially injuring yourself or whatever, just float. Secure yourself, keep yourself safe first, and think about how you're going to get past, or just let it pass. That's because it's like anything. Like if you're actually going swimming, you can't just float. Just think about that in a tough situation that you're in.
Yeah, I really like that.
The underlying thing for me, yeah.
Go on.
No. Sorry, no.
I was going to say I really like that, just because when you feel like you are trying to swim, I think when it comes to floating, it's quite nice to feel like that, because a lot of the time we want to be on the move, we want to be doing something. So when we are floating, it feels like we're doing nothing. So maybe having that awareness that sometimes you need to, and slow things down to speed things up.
Absolutely, just taking the time to just, maybe, when you're swimming, you're kind of looking forward and you're kind of, oh, what's next? I don't know. But when you're floating, you're just looking up. You don't know. You just relax. You just trust the process. Present. You just chill, and think about things. More present, definitely. But I think the takeaway from my week, I would say, is trusting yourself, trusting, again, the process. I'm a big believer in that, because again, with the whole football thing, I thought, when am I going to play football again? That's the thing that scared me the most. I don't know. If you told me you can't play football till September, I'd be fuming. I'd be annoyed, but I'd go, there's an end. But when you go, I don't know when you're going to be able to play football, that does nothing for me. That's not good. So I kind of went on some runs.
The last episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And having, that end, the journey, the destination, if you like, is important when you have an injury, because it gives you find comfort in the fact that you know it's going to be over. So in conclusion, is not good for the mind. It isn't good for the mind, in most things, in things that harm us and harm our minds. So I would say, yeah, the underlying thing is just trusting in the fact that bad times will end, tough times will end, things that you're struggling with will end. But how persistent are you, and how much do you want to get back to doing what you love? Like, I love playing football, so I want to get back to it, and with the commentary stuff, I was thinking, when's my next one going to be? I don't know. It's inconclusive, but that excites me in a way, because then I go, okay, how much harder do I have to work to get the next one? What challenge do I have to take to prove myself again? Like this one, he gave me it on less than 24 hours notice, pretty much. That was my challenge.
Yeah.
Are you going to do it?
I think that's something we struggle with, because it's like in the last episode we spoke about that fog. I think that fear of the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen. Like we like a predictable life, and I think that's why, we talk about making it. I would like to think me and you are quite ambitious. We trust our process, and we want to keep, stepping and keep going further up that staircase to where we want to be. Whereas some people they find a step and they're very comfortable with it and they feel happy about it. And you know what? There's nothing wrong. For some people, that might be their life. They like comfort. But it's that fear of the unknown. So for some people, when they find that step they're comfortable with, it's a predictable life. There's no fear of unknown. So they enjoy it, and there's no journey to it, but they're happy with where they are. They're content. And I'm not slating anyone that likes that and is happy with a life like that. Because if that's what you feel is you're making it, then make the most of that one step. But I completely agree with that whole fear of the unknown. Like, not knowing what's going to happen has got to be one of the most difficult parts of the journey.
But also, how much are you willing to sacrifice in order to increase your probability of you're making it happen? Because we talk about this and we go, the fog exists, but there is things that you can do to alleviate the pressure that you feel when you see that fog. Like, from me taking that last minute, I would assume, maybe I'm wrong to assume, I don't know, that perhaps in the future they'll appreciate that, but by me going and doing other games, and by me putting in as much effort as I can to what I do, I would assume that people around me will appreciate that. When I go to coaching, like we did on Wednesday, I turn up with a coaching plan, I turn up with ideas, and I turn up with what I want to get out of this session. And I hope that because I've done that, my probability of seeing that fog and being like, crap, what do I do now? That isn't as much, or isn't there at all. So that will lead on to the question of the week quite nicely, actually. What are you doing now to lay the foundations for something that you want to achieve in the future? It doesn't have to be just one thing.
I think I go back to it every time, but daily habits, my sports psychology fact every day. I think trying to build connections with people every day. And that's not an everyday thing. That's more of a long term within your process. But I think laying down foundations, it always goes down to your habits. Like you said in the last episode, like, what system are you building which is going to benefit you for your future? And for me, probably, I think a key thing is just thinking about it every day. Making it some sort of goal every day for the thing you want to make it in. So I know I've spoke about having a sports psychology fact that I learn every day, but me having that, it's like I'm always thinking about sports psychology no matter what. And even if it is just one fact, the fact I have it in my mind, and it's interesting because, they speak about manifestation, and some people say, do you believe in it? Do you not? I mean, I don't think it's really something you can believe in or not, because I think if you're always thinking about something, there's more chance of it happening. And I think people think, manifesting is if you think about something, it's just going to appear out of nowhere, like at the click of your fingers. For me, manifestation is always having a goal, always thinking about something. So if you're always thinking about it, there's more chance of it happening. What are your views on manifestation? Because a lot of people don't believe it's a thing, but I think, how is it not a thing?
Well, manifestation, I think, is sort of training your mind to believe. Like, I think that's what it is, because people go, I'm manifesting this. That just sounds to me like you believe something's happening, but you kind of don't want to say it out loud because you feel a little bit nervous. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like people go, I'm manifesting a better career for me and this and this. Whereas they don't want to go, I'm going to be better. I'm going to have a better career, because they don't want to sound egotistical. They don't want to sound like they've got an ego and they've got, thrown a bit of weight around. But I think that is how I view manifestation for me. I mean, yeah, like manifestation, it's great, but all it is just you believing in yourself and things happening because your belief translates into into harder work, more motivation. That is all it is. So I'd say, puff your chest out a little bit. Believe in what you say. Believe in what you want to achieve and what you want to do, and who you want to achieve with. Because why shouldn't you? Because I always think to myself, why can't I achieve the things I want to achieve? I think, why do I have to do things I don't want to do for the rest of my life? I mean, you always have to do stuff you don't want to do. That's an important part of life, because that's discipline, and it's sacrifice and the rest. But if someone else can do exactly what you want to do in life, or has the same sort of trajectory that you wish to have, then you can definitely do it, no matter what your situation is. Now, I speak from a privileged situation where I've got a very supporting family. I've got savings, and I work hard, and I know that not everyone is the exact same. So obviously, people are different. Everyone's, as I mentioned in the Onion episode we did, the world isn't a level playing field. But if you really do believe something and you really want it to happen, you can make it happen. And if you want to call that manifestation,
what are you doing to lay down your foundations?
Not turning down opportunities at all. Just flat out can't, because when that text came in, I'm thinking, Saturday's my day off. I might go and see my sister. I didn't end up seeing my sister. So it's something that I am a bit disappointed that I didn't see my sister, because, I was hoping to see her on Saturday. We didn't have any concrete plans, but I wanted to see her on Saturday. I have not seen her for, a while, over a year. And, that was a bit like, but I had to take the opportunity. I wasn't really sure whether it's a good idea. It's my day off. I need to rest, but you can rest a different day. Do you get me? Like, I will have my time to rest. I'm going to Australia for a year. So before then, every opportunity thrown at me, I'm going to take it. Like, I have to take it, because I know my body can take it. I know I'm mentally resilient enough to deal with the early wake up in the morning and feeling a bit rubbish, and like getting a train and coming back from Birmingham and the train's packed and you're just like, for God's sake, what am I doing? But you love this. I love this what I'm doing now. I love this. So
I love this game.
I love this game. I love this game. And I do. I love it. But if you don't love what you do, and this isn't your passion, don't sacrifice for it. Do you know what I mean? Because I see people going on social media and they say, oh, I love this. This is what I love. But you don't, because you're searching for likes and you're searching for comments and followers. No. But if you're genuinely passionate about something, you'll throw everything you've got at that. You'll throw everything you've got at that. And you don't need to take someone down for what they're doing in life or anything. So live for yourself, sacrifice for your passion. Just love the game, man. Love the game.
It's interesting because I had some very interesting conversations over the weekend with one of my friends, Riley.
Legend.
And I love Riley, man.
That's cool.
And I like having conversations with Riley, because just like me and you, two friends, two different perspectives, we do take life in a bit of a different way. And he does believe. Right? What's that, Jamie?
And he's a deep thinker, isn't he?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And listen, in no way would I ever be like having to go at anything Riley says at all, but he believes that money is success. And you know what? Fair play. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe. I said to him, I believe it's having something you enjoy. It's having a passion. It's having that sort of journey. But he reckons if I got into a job, I might lose a bit of that enjoyment, because maybe it's not as fulfilling anymore because I've got into the position I want to be in. And I completely understand that. I completely get that. Right now I am on this journey of trying to get somewhere. Maybe once I get there and I get that first job as a sports psychologist, I might not feel as much fulfillment. But because I said to him, I know myself, and I know no matter if I get into that position, there's always something more I'm going to want. And that led on to a conversation about things never being enough. And it's like, in the Pursuit of episode, the last episode, for anyone listening, go and watch it. It was a great episode. But that idea of things never being enough, I think it's such an interesting concept, but you've got to ride it with a balance. because it's good to think nothing's ever enough and follow that passion. And there never is an end goal to that passion. But it's just like what you said with your own hero. And I completely agree. Always chase that own hero, but be aware you're never going to be it. But that's where you're aiming towards. But I think with the idea of what you're saying, like, I completely agree. You've got to enjoy what you do. And for some people, they might think money is success. But for me, I believe it's the journey, and I believe it's that fulfilling journey, something you really want in life. But something I really wanted to say this week, because I've got a friend up at uni called Jack, and I've never mentioned him on the podcast before, but he's friends through my mate Nella. Big up Nella, he listens to every episode, number one fan. Come on.
Cheers,
but I was sat with Jack, and he had a few beers, but I knew he wasn't just speaking out the fact he was drunk, because he said to me the next day, like, I promise you all them words, I feel it. And I was just sat there with Jack, and he was just proper bigging me up. Like, he was saying, mate, like, I don't think a lot of people tell you enough, but like, people really respect what you're doing. Like the podcast and the sports psychology videos, and like, we'll have you on the TV here. And obviously I'm not on the TV, it's just a YouTube video, but they'll be like we would, like, he was like, I wouldn't want to see anyone else doing that other than you. Like, it's great that you're the person doing that, because he said, I'm completely happy with, not sharing things. Like, I'm happy just with my life, going to uni, going to the gym. Like, I love that. But it's great to see that someone like you wants to make these videos and do these podcasts. And he was just saying, like, you're a really respectable guy. And, I'm not saying this to big myself up at all. I like to stay humble. And like, the fact I'm even saying that proves I don't want to big myself up here. But the main thing I want to say from him saying that, it really made me feel like, if you believe someone around you is doing something really good for themselves, or someone's really trying to make something out of their life, or every day, or you see one thing they do, which you really think, you know what, I respect that about you, let them know. I really think we have to give people their kudos, because I didn't know he was thinking that. He told me that on Monday, and now I want to keep going more than ever. It's like your mum once said to me, like, I love these videos you make. Like, it makes my day. When you hear things like that, it's like, I never want to stop doing this, even if it was just to make your mum's day or my own mum's day, because I know my mum loves the videos as well. Like, even if it was just one person I was making happy by making videos on Instagram, like, I just wouldn't want to stop, because I know I'm making an impact on someone. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I speak about what's your reason why, and I'm really starting to grow. And I think right now, in my current position in making it, I think my why is just having an impact on people. Like, of course I want things for myself, and I want to be successful for myself, but I want that success to be impact on other people, because I want other people to ride the wave in an exciting way, or in a way which feels good to them, feels true to them. And I just think, if there is someone in your life who you really respect, or, really is doing something you want them to keep doing, then let them know. Never be afraid to big someone up. Never be afraid. Give them their kudos. I can give you your kudos, brother. You're sat there in that chair right now, and you're on this journey, and today's just, it's a day that's going to pass, and every day passes. But I promise you, the journey you're on right now, no matter what you feel, and no matter what part of your journey, if you keep doing what you're doing, Jamie, like, you're going to go to your place. I wanted to say a great place, but I want to say your place. To me, that feels more special, because it's part of you. It's not just a place. And I just think people want to hear it, man. If someone's doing something you respect, give them their kudos.
I appreciate that, Brian. And yeah, definitely, you should. I'm giving you your kudos now. I think you're great, bro. And the journey and the levels that you've set for yourself now, from when we first met, and not met, but the first time we started this kind of journey, it's incredible. It's do you know what I mean? This is good. This is what life is all about. And when I was so I forgot to mention, I did my FA Level 1 coaching badge. I got that today.
Well done on that,
I'm buzzing with that. Thank you, man. But there was something about when we were learning about coach behaviour on week 2 or 3, and it was telling us about, like, how do kids feel? And I kind of looked back and I thought, how do kids feel when they're having a bad day or they're having a good day? And I remember going back and thinking, well, I was really bad at football when I started at Attenborough. Obviously, didn't get into Bill's team because of it. Got chucked with the boys in Graham. But Graham always, like, after a good thing, would, like, pat me on the back and go, "You're doing well." Do you know what I mean? And there was one time that you got that potential, like, to do good if you really want it. And that changed everything. That was the moment when I was about maybe 12, 13, when I was like, I now want to be mad for football. Like, I want to play football more, just from him saying that one thing. So, when you go out and you coach, or, when you go out and give someone that kudos for any situation, just know that can change someone's life and someone's desire to want to continue doing what they do. That, for me, like Graham saying that changed everything for me. So when I went to training on Wednesday, as a young lad who's not really performed at training for as long as I've been there, and during games he kind of switches off and there's not a lot of focus, but he had a really good session. And I just remember like kind of praising him, and it's just kind of subconsciously I'm just praising him like how Graham used to praise me. And I'm thinking, he's come out of the training loving it, he's smiling and he's enjoying it. I think, yeah, I'm glad that I'm not just saying it because I have to say it, or that kudos is just good to give someone. I'm saying it because I mean it. And when you mean and you give someone the praise and the positivity and a message that they deserve, that's a powerful thing that should not be underestimated. So not just in coaching but in life, I 100% share that sentiment, man, that if someone is doing something good, tell them, because not everyone knows. And people think, oh, you just want attention. It's not about the attention. It's sometimes people need reassurance. Like, I think I'm doing good things, but when someone pats me on the back and goes, you did good today, whatever positivity I'm feeling just got doubled, tripled, quadrupled, pentupled, whatever the hell you want to say. I feel a million times better, and I feel way more confident in what I think. So just pick people up, man, because what does it take you? Like a second? Just text them, say it to their face, whatever. It's important.
And I think that boosts. I think that some people need that kick. Some people need a bit of an arm around the shoulder just to be like, look, man, you're doing well. Like, just keep doing what you're doing, and it gives them that kick. And sometimes I do believe life's a bit of a game of momentum. We get this ball rolling, and once that ball's rolling, and it's really rolling, and this whatever's in that ball, like, you love, like, that's your passion, that's your fulfillment. Like, you just want to keep it rolling. You just want to keep it rolling. And that momentum is a big thing. When you get that momentum, it's brilliant. I love that momentum. You feel like you're in the game and things are going great. And all it takes is one small thing and you do it. Then it's like a domino effect. The next domino then goes. You wake up, you make breakfast. Then you go to the gym, or you do that bit of homework you needed to do. And then it's that game of momentum. But to counter that, I think momentum's a great thing. But mate, I know I've fallen into a trap of I've got that momentum going to the point I never want it to stop. But that can be dangerous because then you're not slowing things down. I saw your cogs wheeling a little bit there. I'll carry on what I'm saying, but I'm interested to hear what you say. You carry on that momentum, but sometimes I believe you do need to slow things down. Whether that's if you're spending time with family, or you're going on a little walk for 30 minutes, or you're with your partner or a friend you've not seen in a while, and then you speed it back up. So for me, momentum's great. Get yourself a momentum in life, but also have some times where you do slow things down to then speed that momentum back up.
Oh, definitely. I think what I was going to say is that I feel like I was on that when I first came to Newcastle and I started doing my weekly lists of things I've got to do, which I still do now, and it's been like nearly 2 years. I feel like I was in an unstoppable momentum. When my uncle passed away, I kind of went into this sort of like mad, like routine thing, and it was hard to break out of. And then I went on holiday, broke out of it, and I actually needed that. I actually needed my momentum to be broken because I was in that position where I'm like, if this ends, like, I'm never going to reach this peak level of goodness again. But I realized like I wasn't actually enjoying things. Like, I was doing everything I needed to do in the day. That gave me some fulfillment, but I was like, it's like a robot. Well, I'm not here just to complete tasks. You know what I mean? I'm here for a bit of spontaneity and a bit of randomness, and like, my body naturally regulates. There'll be some mornings I wake up and I feel like rubbish. I've got no energy. I'm down in the dumps. I don't want to get out of bed for half an hour. Other mornings I'm like, whew, grateful to be alive. Let's just go for a shower. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm like, running around the pub like, wow, full of energy. But that's what it is. I feel that my momentum is a bit more broad, and I wouldn't say it's very fast. I would just say that it exists no matter what. And my momentum includes those bad days. So, people think that momentum is only positive things happening, whereas I would say momentum, it's just you on your journey. That is your momentum. If something major happened, then sure, I'd be off my momentum. But again, I'm naturally regulated. Like there's days where, and you should humble yourself as well. Like as I say, when I go up for work on a Thursday morning or a Wednesday morning for gardening, and I'm up at 6 and I'm having to make breakfast, and I have to snap myself into what I'm doing. That humbles me. That brings me down to earth because I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to do this, even though I love gardening and I love it. You know what I mean? That garden, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, problem solving. The customer says, what do you think I need doing? I'm like, doing it. And I always think about what's coming next for me. And it is a dangerous thing to think about because I go, oh, I really don't want to be in this position. And, I'm going to Australia in June and I'm like, oh God, I can't wait. I've just got to think about that and get it over and done with. Because you shouldn't waste the days. You shouldn't take this for granted. But what I'm trying to say in the broader point, not to kind of go off on a bit of a tangent, but, do things that you don't want to do at times. And you will soon realize that they're really good for you. And they're not breaking your momentum. They're just part of it. And yeah, I would just say, just don't worry about your momentum too much. You'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah. You don't want to put pressure on it, because I used to do that when I had momentum going and my life felt like it was moving fast, and I'd put pressure on myself to, like, every second you got to be doing something, and like it literally made it where I was spending time with my girlfriend and like the time just wasn't as good. Like it was specifically last semester at uni when the coaching came on and more work at uni, and I was spending time with Scarlett doing uni work with her in a cafe and thinking that was me spending time with her just because she was physically there. Yeah. And like now our coffees are just sit down and we're just chatting. This whole semester I've not sat down and done work with Scarlett. Like, I think I completely like what you said there, because if you start putting pressure on the momentum, then like you say, it doesn't become enjoyable anymore. And sometimes you have to kind of just like it's interesting that broader kind of perspective of momentum, that's always still ticking, but you don't always have to be rolling with the ball. You can kind of, stop it for a bit, control it for a bit, and then get it playing again. Because I for sure last semester I did that a lot. And once I put the pressure off myself and I just said, look, you don't have to be doing something every second of the minute. Slow things down a little bit, Dan. Because it links that fear of the unknown again. You feel like if you're not doing something, then that sort of trajectory, you're never going to reach that goal, which you feel like you're capable of doing. You're never going to reach that full potential, because you see, most of the time when we see things around us, we often see results. Like, we don't often see people's processes. So we think, I'm not doing it right now because I'm not seeing the results. But I really like that, man. The momentum's still going. Just slow it down a bit sometimes.
And also, when you mentioned about presence there, presence isn't enough. Presence isn't enough in terms of you being present somewhere to see someone isn't enough. Enjoy the quality and embrace the moment that you're in, which we've spoken about before. But presence really isn't enough, and that goes both ways. Your presence in my life just isn't enough. But the reason that it is enough is because you engage, we go for coffee. Do you know what I mean? It isn't just me and you standing in a room doing a bit of work. But you've noticed that, and that's what reflection's all about. So I reckon we've got an episode title. I reckon momentum's got to be up there, hasn't it? It's got to be up there. But I'll ask this question again because it is question of the week. What are you doing in your life at the moment that is laying the foundations for something that you want to achieve? And I think we can probably end the episode on that.
Yeah, that was a really nice episode, Jamie. I love it, brother. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, mate. Right, I'm going to go and get my swimming shorts because I've got a date with the swimming pool.
I thought you were playing badminton.
Yeah, we're doing badminton and then going swimming, mate.
Okay.
Yeah, come on. We don't mess about, mate. As soon as you gave me this guest pass, I was like, I'm on it. But I hope you all have a fantastic week. Please, if you can, keep looking at our social media. We've got more stuff coming. Hopefully, we'll get more of the podcast like the one we did with Luca, Making It Moments. Hopefully, we'll get a couple more of them. I'm going to try and work on something with that soon. I will be doing a vlog of the next Forest game. So that'll be Man United at home. So
check out our YouTube. Check out our vlogs.
So check out YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. We're looking forward to seeing you there. But until then, see you soon. Every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Making It Podcast, episode 13. See you later, guys. Bye. Feel so right.